Hello and welcome back to Understanding Maths. My name is Dave Haddock and I will be your tutor today. Today's lesson is all about basic percentages, and it does link quite heavily with the previous topic, which was basic fractions. So if you haven't already, I'd recommend going back and watching that video. Also, if you can like and subscribe, you can keep up to date with all the latest videos that I release, and hopefully I can help you along the way during your maths journey. So today is all about percentages. So before we start, let's just go back to my favourite topic, which is cake. If I had a cake and I had a full cake, I would have 100% of a cake. So 100% is the biggest percentage that we can have. If I was to cut that cake in half, I would have two slices. I would cut it directly down the middle and there'd be two slices. Each slice will be exactly half of 100. So each slice would be 50%. If I had my whole cake again, so let's go back to that full cake, and I was to cut it into 4 equal slices, each one of those slices would be 25%. Now I know this because if I times 25 by 4, because there's 4 slices, that will give me my 100 again, or my 100%. So each one of those 4 slices would be 25% each. So if we were to cut our cake into 2 slices, each slice would be 50%. If we were to cut our cake into 4 slices, each slice would be 25%. So as you can tell, the higher the percentage, or the larger the number, the bigger the piece of the cake. So if I was to go for a run, and I was to put 50% effort into my run, I would only be putting about half of the energy that I could potentially put into that run into it. If I was to give 100% effort, we would be saying that I would be putting absolutely everything I can into that run. Hopefully that makes some sense. Let's start looking at some calculations. If I had £100 and I wanted to work out what 17% is of that £100, I'm going to do something very similar to how we worked out fractions. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find out what 1% is of that £100. Once I know what 1% is, I can then multiply that to find out what 17% is. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my £100. I'm going to divide it by 100. And that's because 100% is the biggest percentage that we can have. So I'll do £100 divided by 100 to get 1. And once I've worked out that 1%, I'm then going to multiply it to get 17%. So let's try it. £100 divided by 100 equals £1. So 1% is £1. I then multiply that £1 by 17 to get my 17%, which is £17. So 17% of £100 is £17. So let's try that with a different percentage. So if I wanted to work out 87% of a sum of money, and again, we'll use the example of £100, the first thing I would do is I would divide that sum of money by 100 to work out what 1% is. I would then multiply it by 87 to work out what 87% is. So £100 divided by 100 gives me £1. I then multiply that by 87 to get my final percentage, which is £87. And this is exactly the same no matter what percentage it is that you're looking for, and no matter what sum of money or what sum in total that it is that you're trying to find the percentage for. Divide it by 100 first to get 1%, multiply it to get whatever percentage you're looking for. Now, if you think about the fractions that we did in the last video, you're using very similar method. With fractions, you divided by the denominator, the second number, to find out what 1 of that fraction is, and then you multiplied it by the numerator to find out whatever the fraction is that you were looking for. Percentages are exactly the same. You're going to divide your amount by 100 to get 1%, and then you're going to multiply that 1% by whatever you're looking for to get the percentage that you're after. Very, very similar. Divide, multiply. Find out 1, then find out the one that you're looking for. If you can remember that, you should have no problem with any fractions or percentages that you come across in the future. And that's it for today. Thank you for joining me again for basic percentages. I hope that it was useful. As I said, it goes hand in hand with basic fractions, so if you haven't already, please go back and watch that video. Next up, we'll be looking at decimals in the next video. So the party really begins to start at that point. So I hope that you join me there. In the meantime, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.